There's a certain type of comment that I get on my blog posts or my videos sometimes that kind of annoys me and also makes me sad in a way. Because it's not true, and also because the people making it are in fact the people who would get the most benefit from what we do. And that comment is something like, I don't have any money to save, I don't have any money to invest, I'm doing the best I can. You know, I'm completely maxed out just on normal stuff, paying for rent, food, etc. And I don't have anything extra every month. And I think that's probably not true. Let's talk about it. So, my name is Ben. I started RetireJapan in 2013 because I wanted to share some of the things I was learning with other people because they were really making my life better. And I really feel that everyone should have the chance to improve their financial situation and thus improve their life. The reason I started thinking about personal finance because in 2008 I lost my job at fairly short notice. I had maybe 2 or 3 months notice, but basically I lost my job and, you know, I was married at the time. I had 3 stepkids. We were renting this big house in Sendai. We had 3 cats as well. And losing my job was incredibly traumatic. So my wife and I really didn't know how we were going to pay the rent, how we were going to buy food, how we were going to keep going, basically. We were very lucky. I managed to get some part-time work and eventually recover from that. But it really set me on the path to learn as much as I could about personal finance because I never wanted to be in that situation again. And so when I get people coming onto the channel or onto Facebook or onto Twitter or wherever and posting things like, you know, cost of living's going up, so, you know, this kind of stuff is not possible for normal people, I really want to kind of stop them and say, hey, that's not true. And in fact, it's the people who are struggling who most need to get a handle of their personal finance, because it's not financial independence that makes the biggest difference. It's not becoming wealthy. It's just getting off that kind of emergency level. It's when you stop having to worry about how to pay for food. It's when you stop worrying about paying the rent. That's the life-changing event. And I would argue that that is within reach of pretty much everyone. Personal finance is really simple. Now, it's not easy because you need to, you know, modify your behavior, and sometimes you need to modify your attitude or even your beliefs about certain things, but it's pretty simple. And to get control of your finances, to start regaining financial control over your life, there's only a few simple things that we need to do. Just like I discovered in 2008, the first and most important thing is to change your mindset. If fixing your finances is the most important thing for you, if it's something that you really feel is important, then that is going to get you a lot of the way to success. So you have to understand why. Why are we focusing on personal finance? And for me, the biggest reason is security. It's not having to worry. It's being able to deal with financial problems. You know, the car breaks down, it's okay, we have some money set aside, we can fix it. The kids want to go on a school trip, it's okay, we've got some money set aside, we can pay for it. Food prices went up a bit, it's okay, we can deal with it. That, for me, is the whole point of personal finance. It's trying to get rid of that stress, that worry, and that risk of being just one step away from financial disaster. Okay, once you've got yourself motivated, what's the next step? Well, I would say there's 2 things, and we can do them at the same time. So the first thing is to start trying to save up some money. This is our emergency savings. This is the cash we have on hand to help us deal with problems. And we basically do that by having somewhere to put the savings. So you might have like a jar at home that you chuck 100 yen coins into, or you might have a special bank account that's not your normal bank account, it's a separate one, and you just put money in there whenever you can. When we started doing this, it was literally, we started with 1,000 yen a month, saving up 1,000 yen a month into the emergency savings fund. And you know, seeing that build up over time was very encouraging, and it motivated us to keep going and find more money to be able to save. Now, some people will recommend saving up a certain amount of money before you start investing, but I prefer to do them at the same time. We're very lucky here in Japan. You can open a broker account. There's no real minimum to open the account. You don't need any money in order to open the account. You can open a NISA account, a tax-free investing account, again with no money and no minimums. If you're in a situation where money is tight and you're struggling, you probably don't need to worry about iDeCo just yet. Instead, just go ahead, open a broker account with an online broker. This would be SBI or Rakuten, and open a NISA account. Once you've got the account, then you can start investing. And the nice thing in Japan is if you're buying mutual funds, at least, you can invest with as little as 100 yen. So as long as you can find 100 yen, you can open a broker account, you can open a NISA account, and you can start investing. And the beauty of this is that it gives you practice. So you can figure out how investing works, you can start investing, you can get some experience, all with very little amounts of money. So that later on, when you have a bit more flexibility, you've got a bit more money to invest, you know what to do, the accounts are all set up, and you're ready to go. So you've got yourself motivated, you've started saving up that cash for the emergency fund, you've opened your broker account, you've started investing in NISA through a mutual fund, hopefully a diversified mutual fund, so like a world stock fund or a US stock fund if that's the way you want to go, and you're putting in a small amount of money every month. So what's next? Well, there's two things. The first is that we want to slowly, over time, we want to increase the amount we're saving. And the way it's worked for most people I've seen, the way it worked for us, the way it's worked for people on the Retire Japan forum, is that basically, once you get started and you see that it's working, that really motivates you to go ahead and find some more savings or maybe try and make some more money just so that you can increase the amount you're saving, increase the amount you're investing. Over time, that really makes a difference. So my wife and I, we started off saving 1,000 yen a month into the emergency savings, and by the end of it, we were saving 60–70% of our income. Now, that didn't happen overnight, and that's not necessary for most people. It's just where we ended up. But by far the hardest thing is to get started. Getting started is most of the journey. Now, the other thing you need to do is make sure that nothing knocks you off course. And the easiest way to do that is to make sure you have the right kind of insurance. Now, in Japan, most people are gonna need very specific insurance. So if you've got a bicycle, you need bicycle insurance. If you've got a car, you need car insurance. If you've got a home, you probably need fire and flood insurance and so on. And then if you have a family and they're depending on you for financial support, you might want to get life insurance. And the type of life insurance that you probably want to get is term life insurance. This kind of insurance is pretty cheap, and all it does is insure you against dying early or dying suddenly. It doesn't have a savings component, it doesn't have an investment component. That kind of thing is very profitable for insurance companies, but it's not particularly profitable for you. So get the really simple, cheap life insurance, just enough to make sure that your family's not going to be in trouble if something happens to you, and that's enough for most people. Now, I really believe if you do those three things, so you start saving money for your emergency fund, you start investing, and you make sure that nothing's going to knock you off course by having the right amount of insurance, I truly believe your life will change. Now, that really is all there is to it, but if you've got questions, if you want to learn more, we've just launched a new online Retire Japan resource. It's called the Retire Japan Learning Center. It's an online community where you can get information, ask questions, access resources, and take action towards improving your finances. It's free to join. If you're interested, there's a link in the description. Please go ahead and check that out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.